to call to order. It's going to be City Council meeting for Port Richey, November 12th, 2019. At this time, I'd like to stand and have, who's here to the invocation? Oh, Sandra Spalding to the invocation. That's right, that's all.
God, creator of all there is, we ask you to send your light of blessings down on our city workers, our police and fire department, and all the residents. We ask you to bless our country and to please grant peace to our planet. For this we are thankful. Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Scott Tremblay.
Here.
Vice Mayor William Dittmer.
Here.
Councilwoman Jenny Sorrell.
Here.
Councilman Tom McClary.
Here.
Councilman Tom Kinsella.
Here.
City Attorney James Matthew.
Here.
City Manager Vince Lupo.
Here.
Is there a motion to approve council minutes?
Motion to approve council minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, we're going to move on to comments from the general public. I'm going to start with Dave Mueller, please. And Mr. Mueller, I see that you're also signed up for the consent agenda. Come on up. Is that something you can address both at the same time? Sure. We'll give you a little extra time if need be, but I was going to, rather than call you twice, just have you address both issues.
Dave Mueller, 5439 Blue Point Drive, and you guys need to work on this mic because it doesn't communicate when you're watching this on the web. So somebody needs to address that. First off, thank you, Mayor, Council, Administration for allowing me to speak. I've been reading the papers, reading the news about the water reports in our area. And some of these things are quite alarming. I've talked to individuals that have in-home water conditioning systems, and they turn it on, change the filter, and it's totally nasty the next day. I don't know all the facts, but I'm concerned as a citizen, as all of you that are consuming your water right now. One of the things that I did notice, I went back and looked at all the water reports that we have out there, and they all seem to be within acceptable limits. There is a concern that some of the dates are out of date. Some majority of the testing was done in 17, and I'm assuming that there's going to be new tests done to reflect what the current condition is. Also, we get a percentage of our water from Newport Richey, and how is that testing factored into the picture? And where's their water report? Why isn't it on our site? One of the other things too here is with that water report, we don't have a certification. It's just numbers on a piece of paper. I don't see a signature of a testing body or anything there, so there's some legitimacy that I have that where the document come from. It needs to be basically with regard to the consent agenda, there was a 50-50 split on the water roof between the general fund and the utility fund. I don't know why it wouldn't all come out of the utility fund, since that's what it supports, and that's an enterprise fund, and it should be able to sustain cost. The other aspect, I did note that the project list changed. Thank you very much. I did also note that 15 of the 45 items are completed. So I think while that's a great start, I think we need to look at a process of aging those off, and keeping them on a separate tab, and let's keep that fresh, because that's what's in front of everybody here. Also, can we get the code enforcement published to the web, all those violations? And can we get the police stats published to the web? That's what I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller. The next person that I have signed up that I wanted to invite to the podium is Pat Rogers.
Pat Rogers, 4838 Sunset Boulevard. Thank you for allowing me to come up and talk this evening. First, I would like to extend to you the first invitation to Light of the World's Christmas dinner, which will be the evening of December 11th at 6 p.m. And it is open to all of Port Richey, and our employees here, whether they live in the city or not, everybody is welcome. And then I have thank yous for the chief, mayor, vice mayor, and Councilman McClary that I'd like to hand out.
Of course, thank you. Thank you so much. Sure. Pat? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rogers. The next person that's up for comments from the general public is Joe. I'm going to do the best I can. Vittorioso. Thank you, Mr. Vittorioso.
Joe Vittorioso, 4916 Shoreview Court. It's my third trip here, but hopefully it'll be the last one. First time was in January last year. We have a noise ordinance that says nothing over 55 decibels from 10 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning. Anyway, I made the complaint, but maybe I complained the wrong way. J.D. Parker comes through twice a week at 2 o'clock in the morning. The noise is probably double that as far as the decibels. It's so loud, it's unbearable, except the neighbors, we've talked about it. Anyway, the bottom line is basically a noise for a residential area simply says it's unlawful to create any noise above 55 decibels between 10 and 7 in the morning. They do it all the time. I'm down, I spoke to them. No one's complaining, so that's why I'm here for hopefully the last time. Like I said, they come down, they don't care. And the reason why is Newport Richey doesn't allow them to do their service at that time. By accident, I happened to bump into the Newport Richey mayor, he said, no, absolutely not. So what they're doing is they're coming to us first, then going to Newport Richey. Now, I feel like we're being abused that way because they take advantage of it for that reason. One of the neighbors was so upset she was gonna call the newspaper. I said, please don't do that. I said, let's just try to take this one step at a time. This town doesn't need any more regulation than it's had. I said, so the bottom line would be is I just like to know if the council is going to or can do something about this because it's, no matter who you talk to, I've gone up and down Maple Boulevard and I see people doing the lawn or anything and ask them if that noise and they said, yes, they do hear it. It is loud. So I'm hoping that something can be done.
How many people in your area were the trucks coming through?
In I believe this is approximately 90 people. And out of 90 people, probably no more than about 8 to 10 of them use J.D. Parker. And I've asked them about it, and some of them will say, well, we live up in the second floor, we've got double pane windows, all this, so we don't notice it. Once in a while we hear it, but just the idea that whether we hear it or not, it is against the ordinance that we have made. So I was hoping something could happen. Prevent this from going on, because it's, you don't know what it's like to be ringing your phone twice a week at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, here they are. You wouldn't want it, and I don't like it, so maybe you can do something about it.
Thank you so much.
But thank you.
I'm going to do the best I can with this next one. And I promise I know how to read.
Troy Peterson. You know, I'm thankful that God has spared this arm, because I fell 25 feet and they were going to amputate it. And then the prisoner that I had hired out of jail doing a pastor visit, he prayed for me, and the surgeon saved my arm.
And if you can you put your address on?
6827 Sandra Drive.
Okay, thank you.
Port Richey. Pastor Leonard, first off, wanted to apologize, he couldn't make it. He asked me if I'd come. And so, first off, I wanted to let you guys know that we're praying for you guys regularly. Tuesday morning at the Oasis, we're praying, and then also Wednesday with Somebody Cares, our pastor prayer meeting, or Wednesday. And so, in praying, I felt like I'm a little bit out of my element, because I'm a preacher and a teacher of the Word. But I wanted to just share a scripture, why I feel I'm led here tonight, why Pastor Leonard is here, and it's found in the book of Titus. The Apostle Paul writes to remind them, who's them? That's our congregations, that's believers in Jesus Christ, to be subject to rulers and authorities, and to obey, and to be ready for every good work. And so that's why I'm here, is to let you guys know that we're ready for every good work that is presented to us through you guys. We want to serve you guys. We want to be obedient to you guys, and help out in any way that we can. And I know that you have the Christmas in park coming up, and so we want to help you out any way that we can in that area. Making a hot chocolate or whatever you want us to do, we're here for you, and we're praying through that on how we can help you. And this is a faithful saying, and these things I want to affirm constantly, that those who have believed in God should be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable for men. And so it is one of the things I minister out at Hudson Beach every Saturday, and we feed people the Word. We come out there and worship, and we have a food pantry out there. And the Word tells me to let my light shine so good before men that they may see our good works and glorify our Father in heaven. So we're not here to be glorified, light of the world or Church of Brotherly Love. We're here to glorify God and let you all see our good works to glorify Him. The other thing I felt led to share really is that many of you know, that's it, thank you.
And I'll let you wrap up, but what I was going to suggest is, I know that our CAC, which is our Citizen Advisory Committee, is very heavily involved in the planning for our Christmas event in the park, and you may want to reach out to them, because they may be able to utilize some extra help to either set up or serve hot chocolate or what have you. So we would love for you to reach out to them and coordinate with them. I think that would be great for everybody involved.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. The next person that I had was Mr. Blaine Lee. I'd like to invite you to the podium.
Thank you. Blaine Lee, 5713 Berlin. I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood that my reason for the comments at the last meeting about the safety concern I had for our employees. My reason for bringing it up was not to get anybody in trouble. My reason for bringing it up was to point out a deficiency in products that the city should have provided for the employees and training. Thank you.
Thank you, and we appreciate you pointing out when you see things, because we're not always aware sometimes of what may happen out there, so I appreciate that.
I was asked after the meeting if the employees had vests on, and I said no, but the employees were not standing in the road, they were on the sidewalk next to the road, so they weren't in a traffic area, but they still were trying to direct traffic or the traffic flow without the proper equipment, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lee. The last person that's on the list for comments from the general public is Suzanne Lancaster. I'd like to invite you up to the podium, please.
Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you very much for this opportunity to address you. My name is Suzanne Lancaster. I live at 4917 Shoreview Court in Fort Ridge. And I have a similar issue to raise with you as Mr. Torioso about the noise at 2 o'clock in the morning, twice a week in our neighborhood. And it's loud enough to wake us up in our back bedroom, and sometimes it's difficult to get back to sleep. And I think the noise ordinance, is there for a reason, and perhaps, we could look into enforcing it for the taxpayers and for the neighborhood. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you, I'm sure you talked to some of your neighbors.
Yes.
Out of the group of neighbors, what percentage do you think would have that same complaint or problem, just from talking?
Well, in our cul-de-sac, there are 6 houses. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And 6 of the 7 have the same issue.
Having issues waking you guys up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. At this time, I wanted to open up comments from our city manager and invite Mr. Lupo to speak.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a department report scheduled for each council meeting. And the report for this meeting is from our fire department. And I'll ask Chief DeCamino to read the report and discuss our issues with respect to the fire department. Chief?
Well, the first comment is we had the open, well, they're working now. I could sit back here. The first comment, the fire department conducted the open house. I think it was a success. A lot of residents showed up, and the different, some of the council people showed up. We had a great turnout, and the kids were there, and they had first aid tent, they had fish and wildlife were out there, so it was a really good success, and we showed off the firefighting boat that we have and a few other things. So that went really well. And well, yeah, I forgot about that. Culver's, oh man, I hope they're not listening. Culver's as well, so we can always count on Culver's to come out with us. But the department ran 73 calls for service last month. 51 of those were medical, 9 motor vehicle crashes, fire alarms were 5, structure fires were 2. Police department assist us was 2, water-related incident was 1, gas leak was 1, and a child locked in a vehicle was 1, and an animal rescue. Also that we had the city of Port Richey, we passed the automatic mutual aid policy to Newport Richey, and Newport Richey passed theirs on their last council meeting. So we now have an automatic mutual aid policy, which will be great for our ISO ratings and manpower on the scene. So that I'm going to work with Chief Soroy and Chief at Newport to come up with a plan of action as to how we're going to call each other in. But it's an automatic mutual aid policy on structure fire, so that we have enough manpower at the scene. So that's coming. The open house was, again, it was a success. Fire Prevention Week had firehouse subs. They did some new business fire inspections, existing business fire inspections. Those are consistent. Those are constant all year long. Some site plan review. We had FEMA flood hazard training to assist CRS rating, rapid diver training with Pasco County Fire Rescue. The only rapid diver team in the county is the city of Port Richey, so we have some training also scheduled to do with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. That's coming up next. Clearwater gas training at the Newport Richey Fire Department. The volunteers attended the Great Florida Fire School, NFPA and ISO drills. That's the NFPA, National Fire Prevention Association. ISO is your insurance rating. They did drills with the Newport Richey Fire Department. New hire training of driver engineer Damian Lanebar and Justin Reading. Those are two new full-time firefighters that were hired. And then, of course, the daily company level fire EMS training. I was there for the demonstration of waterproof rescue equipment. This is the Hearst tools that cut the cars apart. They have a new set out now that's waterproof, and so if you have a car in water or a car in a lake, and you needed to cut the car open, you could actually use the tool in the water that was demonstrated to us about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Updating the fire protective gear, that's ongoing, and then the updating of the standard SOPs on mutual, automatic mutual aid agreements, which I spoke about a little bit earlier. And also Tom Dobies donated 20 of the cancer-reducing particulate hoods. We had him out for a little presentation last week too.
And I wanted to ask you a question on the, where you were talking about training. One of the things I think used to happen was fire department would come train the police department with first aid techniques and first responder techniques. Is that, are you guys still engaged in that?
Yes, we are. Yeah, the fire department will come out and recertify the guys on their CPR and their first aid annually.
Okay, very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
I would just like to re-emphasize this small set of statistics for the general public. There are a total of 73 incidents during that time period, and 51 of them were medical incidents. And it goes to some of the discussion that citizens spoke about earlier, about the necessity for our fire department and the quick response time that they provide. I dare say that every one of these responses were within a very minimal amount of time, because just about every one of them are life-threatening. And I would like to extend my personal thanks to our fire department for their continued love of this city and love of their citizens.
Thank you, Mr. LeBeau. At this time, I wanted to open up comments to council and myself, but I'll start with council.
Okay. Just following up, I discussed earlier regarding the new signs for our change in traffic pattern in WOD.
Chief?
The signs were back ordered, but they're in, and they should be installed tomorrow and Thursday.
So they'll be up and running for the weekend?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great, thank you.
We will be placing a map of them, of the new traffic pattern on our website, so the general public can take a look and see what it's going to be like. But the police will be there to assist people as the traffic pattern changes, to ensure that there are no accidents. And we'll start placing the signs up in the next day or so, and they'll be in full force by the weekend. So just to alert everyone to the traffic pattern, it is strictly has to do with the waterfront district, and to improve the flow of traffic, particularly on the weekends when it becomes pretty dangerous there. We've been with the police department, we've been with our public works, and we've driven the area, checked it out, we've got the proper signs prepared, and we'll go in full force by this weekend. Again, the exact map and the outline of where it's going to occur will be on our website.
Have we notified the business?
Jerry?
Yeah, we haven't notified the businesses. I mean, they know about it. I had some conversation with the owner of Guild Dogs, and so they're aware of it. And the police department will not be giving out tickets. If somebody makes a mistake and goes down a block the wrong way, we're going to be there to educate them in the system, so that there's no tickets going to be given out.
The change is mostly going to be to Treadway, in case anybody's wondering, going eastbound. It'll be a one-way going eastbound, so it's more of a circle pattern. You don't have cars trying to pass on that very narrow area at Guild Dogs where it's dark.
You don't want to drive to get to the bar?
Just walk.
No, just getting home.
Just getting home.
Is this a permanent change?
Pardon me?
Is this a permanent change?
We will be implementing this change. We'll make sure that it works properly. If it does, in fact, work properly, it will be a permanent change. Obviously, if once we institute it, if we find that there is severe problems with this traffic flow, then we'll have to make the adjustments that were required for safety purposes. but the signs are prepared, the signs can be moved if necessary, but we believe it will be a permanent change.
And I agree with that. I wouldn't want to make any changes where we invest any money until we know that it's going to be effective. So certainly, before the city spends any money, we want to make sure the traffic flow is going to work right and it's going to be beneficial long-term in terms of public safety.
That was my big question anyway.
Okay. We'll start to my right, all the way down to the end, Mr. Kinsella.
A couple things. The Citizens Advisory Committee, we're having our Meet Your Neighbor tomorrow at Rum River there at Ketch's, starting at 5:30. We're asking our citizens to please come out. A few of the employees here from the city are going to be there. Veronica from the building department and our new code enforcement officer, Don, is going to be there, plus some of our officers and firefighters. So we'd love to see you all out there. And again, the purpose of this Meet Your Neighbor is an opportunity for the residents to meet some of our city employees. What we're trying to do with CAC is to invite different employees out there, and this way the citizens, our residents, can learn what their jobs are, to see the face behind that telephone conversation that they may have. So it's been very successful. We enjoy it, and again, love to see you all out there. Also on Saturday, CAC, we're taking on a project there at Nix Park. First of all, we're going to do a cleanup, and at the same time, the kiosk there needs a lot of work. And the CAC decided to take that on as a project. We're going to go ahead, clean it, sand it, fill in a lot of holes, and paint it. And then we're also going to maintain the kiosk itself by putting various announcements about the city, what's going on one side, and then the other side we're going to have some information about the from Fish and Game, about the wildlife in the area, an educational piece of it. So we're very excited about that. And our next meeting that we're going to have is going to be Thursday, November the 21st, 7 p.m. And please come out and see what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
The only comment I have, and actually more of a question, I don't know if anyone here has the answer, is J.D. Parker the only disposal company that runs 2 o'clock in the morning, or are there others that?
Chief?
Yes. Does Waste Management, do they go over to Newport Richie afterwards? Just later in the day? Any?
Well, I did call J.D. Parker and spoke to them about this issue, and they're not gonna change the route, because their answer to me was if they change the route for 4 people or for 6, whatever it is in that court, they'll probably annoy a dozen more people by coming much later. So I had a conversation with them, and they're not gonna change the route. Apparently, they do, the reason that they come here is because they can't start in Newport Richie till after 7. So that's why they hit that area at, I believe it's 2 o'clock in the morning? Yeah.
And one more quick question, I'm sorry, Suzanne, are you in the same cul-de-sac as Joe or different?
What I find confusing is
a suggestion on this topic. I think one of the things that we're lacking or missing with this issue is really no one's really measured the decibel level. So I think that, not that I'm aware of, but I think that would be a role of law enforcement at some point. You know, if there is an issue or complaint, at some point to follow up to see if they can just measure. And because I think that this complaint is a little different depending on what the decibel level is. If it's over, then I think that's going to be an issue. If it's not, then it is kind of what it is.
Larry's the noise engineer, he knows it's over.
I believe we have the equipment, correct, to
But I think
I'll look for you at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I was suggesting that should probably be the first step.
I'm sure it's going to be over the noise level, but that if I'm not mistaken, that noise level is amplified noise, amplified music. My concern is where do we stop it? If we cite the garbage truck, and then what happens when the construction company comes in later on in the afternoon or later on in the morning, when the decibel readings are higher, but they exceed the decibel readings doing construction, where do we could cite everybody, and they won't be able to come in and do work. That's, where do you draw the line?
I think during the day it's a little different than in the middle of that.
Well, I've tried, I've called up JD Parker, and they're not gonna change it.
But I think the first step is to get a measurement.
We'll get a reading, we'll get a reading on it, right?
Thank you.
Excuse me, Joe, how many people on the cul-de-sac are using them? The best way I find is if we can find the neighbors who are using J.D. Parker and have them change companies. Because that's, if you hit them in the wallet, that's where usually. Yeah, we need to start there.
And then have a conversation with them, depending on the source of the reading.
I think that's correct, because if it's under 55, I think it's the end of the discussion. If it's over.
And if it's 70, well, then you've got to
We have a new place to start.
Correct. That's right. That's my opinion, at least. Any other?
No, that's it.
Okay. I just had a brief comment I wanted to make. I was honored to be invited by the Florida League of Cities. They have a Florida conference. They've asked me to be a keynote speaker or guest speaker to talk about some of the things that have happened recently within our city. And I think it's important to share what happened in our city with all the other cities in Florida, so that they can be aware kind of what happened here and potential political climate out there. So that'll be Thursday. I'm going to Orlando, and it's the Florida League of Cities has their statewide conference over there, and I'll be the speaker on Thursday, lunchtime speaker. So I'm honored to be able to go do that. And so some of you guys that spoke at the meeting will be on video, and there'll be some sound bites on that are played at that meeting. So you guys will be well represented by yourselves too. With that, that's all the comments that I had. I wanted to move on to the agenda, if we may.
Consent agenda. Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, we're going to move on to council business. The first one is going to be the discussion on the Restore Act grant award. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna open that up to Mr. Lupo just for introduction, and then we'll begin the discussion of that.
I'll try to explain this for the sake of individuals who are not fully aware of what the Restore Act is. And essentially, the funds are generated from the oil spills of BP. And after they were fined, that money was then allocated through an act called the Restore Act to the various counties and states that were affected by that oil spill. Pasco County was one of those states. The county, formed a committee, and the committee established who would receive the grants and worked out an arrangement directly with the Treasury Department. The Treasury Department issues the money to the county, and then the county reissues it to the individual communities who have an agreement with them. The cities, since I believe 2015, worked putting together a program for the Restore Act plan through the county. And the city, from approximately 2015 until very recently, worked in that direction. It crossed every T, it dotted every I, it submitted all of its information directly to the county then transmitted it up to the Treasury Department, back down the chain of command, back down to the cities, and there's just more than our city involved. And we did this particularly because the grant, was issued so that we paid for the work first on a reimbursable basis. Once the county approved of that work, and we would then be reimbursed. So consequently, every act that we did was thorough. No steps missed, nothing. We eventually went out to bid on the dredging portion of that Restore Act. That portion that we went out to bid was Channel 1, Channel 18, and Channel 26A. The bids came in, and we found that I think the lowest bidder, which was the one bid, although 33 other entities looked at the bidding potential, came in at approximately $629,000 out of an approximately $650,000 dredging allocation. Council looked at those bids and selected Channel 1 to be dredged. We went through the process, submitted it back to the county. Of course, there were objections by one of the county commissioners that perhaps the city should have thrown the bids out, should have started all over again. Of course, at that time, we were up against several deadlines, including permits. And it went through the chain of command. We even had a 4x8 sign built specifically using the words that were provided to us through the county and Treasury Department. At the very last minute, an epistle went from the Treasury Department to the county, saying that the county to tell us that we did not do all of the first phase of a 3-phase project, So consequently, they felt that the original agreement between the county and us should be terminated. The mayor, I, and members of the council and our city attorney fought the issue because we believe we were correct. And we went before, the issue went before the county commission, and the final upshot was that they did in fact cancel the original agreement. However, they reserved the funds for us. And after a long discussion, they decided that we would not have to go back to the Restore Act committee to be refunded, but that we would have to work out an additional plan or a plan with the county. To that end, they were going to have their staff get with our staff, and we would come back, and they would essentially tell us what we could or couldn't do, or what they felt we could or couldn't do, and we would bring those issues back to council. So at this point in time, the Channel 1 dredging has been stopped, and we're in the process of, will be in the process, I assume, of working with county staff to come up with some ideas, unless my council tells me and authorizes me or directs me to do something different. And basically, where are we stand?
Thank you, Mr. Lupo. I see that there's several people that have signed up to talk about this from the general public. What I wanted to do is have our discussion first. We may answer some of the questions just in our natural discussions. If there's any collateral issues that you want to bring up that we haven't touched on, or any comments you want to make, we'll address those at the end. I wanted to open it for discussion. First of all, clarifying what we're talking about. There's different maps in terms of dredging maps, and there's one that shows Channel 1, which is kind of a cut that goes through a sandbar, which is what the shrimp boats used to get out, versus our Channel 1, which is the permit, which is what we're concerned with. The permit suggests that Channel 1 is going to be the channel that runs in front of all the parallel with all the docks that connect basically the bayou to the river, that run in front of Hooters, runs over in front of Seaside and all the restaurants. So that's what we're talking about. When we talk about Channel 1, and that's our discussion, it's not necessarily the Channel 1 that you see on some of the old maps that we have, but if you look at the permits, which is what we're talking about, it's actual, that channel that runs in front of the restaurants that go all the way down. So that would be the purpose and the need of, not only for our community, but in essence the county, because I think it's not just citizens of Port Richey that use that, but there's business owners, there's county folks, there's a great need in our community to get that done. So that's what we're talking about in terms of the actual canal that we're talking about dredging. That having been said, one of the other things that's important is really the federal requirements to get this grant money are probably the things that were so time consuming that it took 4 years to get, and we're past that now. Where we're at now, where we stand, is the federal government has authorized the county to release that money to us once we put together a plan. But that's going to have to happen realistically between a county vote with the 5 county commissioners. So we're going to have 5 county commissioners that look at whatever plan we submit, and then they'll determine or make a decision on whether or not the county at this point is going to release those funds to us. The important thing to note is by working directly with the county, this shouldn't be as long a process as it would be if we had to go back to the Restore Act and go back through all the federal guidelines that we originally had, which took 4 years. The only other thing to note is that the original contract we have has now been terminated or will have to be terminated. So once that funding is made available to us by the county, if that is the direction the county goes, we would have to rebid this and start that process over. So that's where we stand as far as I can tell. That having been said, I've been involved in some discussions with some of the county commissioners. I've reached out and talked to them. There's some different schools of thought with that. I can tell you that one of the people that contacted me, and I've called everyone back that's contacted me, just so you guys know for your discussion, I want to just relay the information. Jack Mariano was one of the people that contacted me. He suggested that we try and leverage the money, contact Swift Mud, and back this plan up, which would probably take a lot longer, to try and get more things accomplished. So that was his suggestion. He said that he wouldn't be on board with spending the money. He told me up front he wouldn't be on board. His vote would not be with us, spending the money just to dredge one canal. So I can tell you that's where one of the county commissioners stands in conversation. The rest of them haven't really committed one way or the other. I think they'll be open-minded in their discussions. But I did want to just kind of put that out there so we know where we stand. That having been said, I wanted to open it up for discussion, and I really see two different possibilities to go. I think the first possibility is that we narrow the original plan to just include the canal that we've already dredged, which would be our portion of the matching grant, the disposal of what's already on this site, plus Channel 1, and then the disposal of that. Narrow that plan and resubmit it and see if they agree with that. If they did, then we would be able to re-put Channel 1 back out for bid like we had originally planned. The other way that we could go is a different direction, where we could come up with alternative plans on how to spend that money. It didn't have to necessarily be for dredging Channel 1, and then resubmit it that way as well. So I see those as some of the different options that we have as council to discuss, and I'm interested in how everyone feels and in what direction we should go with this. And I wanted to start with Vice Mayor William Dittmer, if I may.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. My personal opinion on the whole thing is this was a retaliatory by Jack Mariano to take away our funding. And I'm at the point where they're making us jump through these hoops and we're not doing it the way he wants it to be done. I have a problem with that as a person who lives in the city, not the county. My thoughts on the whole thing is we have $300,000 sitting in this account. I would like to see this money divided up and used throughout the city to benefit everybody, the WOD, sidewalks, lighting, different things around town, and then take a portion of that money and set it aside for future dredging where we can put money every year in to work on our city without having to go through the county. Because I think the county, to me, this was straightforward. They cut our knees out from underneath us on this. And I think it was specifically done. So in my personal opinion, I think we should use the money, go a different direction, do things for our city that aren't being dictated to us by the county.
And you're talking about 667?
Yeah, but there will be no 667.
Well, that's not necessarily true. And what I say by that is you have the county commissioners that will vote on this. If that's the position that you go on, I'm just for discussion, asking you.
My position that we go on is Jack Mariano is going to shoot down everything that this city wants, period.
But he's 1 out of 5 votes.
Yeah.
So the question is, if that's the way you feel, do you want to resubmit it the way that it was and let them decide what they're going to do?
No, my opinion is that we don't resubmit it. We're dredging it all.
You know, just walk away from it,
walk away from those guys, get our own, we can do it with our own money, we can do it, it may take more time, we may need to do a special assessment for people who want to do their canals and get them done. But if we build a pocketbook up every year, we can put money into this, and we can do this. It can be done, it'll take a little bit longer, but we're not gonna be jumping through hoops with little carrots dangling over our head. So, I mean, that's the way I feel about it. It's, it's my personal opinion, but I think they've been dangling this stuff, and I mean, we've done everything that we could do to get this stuff right, and then at the 11th hour, after they tell us to make the sign, you need to have this sign and start your project, then they go, oh yeah, by the way, we're not giving you the money.
And if you watch the meeting in the county, there were other county commissioners that didn't necessarily feel the same way as Mr. Mariano. So the question becomes is, do you just...
Then why didn't they vote then? Not to.
Well, I don't think they had choices. They had to terminate the contract.
No, they didn't.
I don't know, but I think they have, if we resubmitted a plan and just narrowed the scope to, which was the Treasury's issue.
No, they changed it. They changed to set the money aside, not to terminate the contract. Well, they could have not done that altogether, right?
Right, but they're saying the reason that it was originally kicked back was because of what they were saying, the scope was too wide. So the remedy would be just to narrow the scope and just give it back to them and see if they approve it or not. There's really no downside to that.
We narrowed the scope originally by not doing the boat ramps, and it was all moving forward. We narrowed it to dredging only, and it went this far, and then it was cut off. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but the county never narrowed.
That's a county problem.
Well, it's our problem because we're the sub.
There you go. And who's the head of the Restore Act?
But that was
Yeah,
more,
Jack Mariano.
But that was more of a Curtis Franklin issue, I believe. That was.
I'm not gonna throw Curtis under the bus.
No, I'm just saying in terms of putting that paperwork together. That having been said, I understand what you're saying, but I think if there's a pot of money that's out there, I'm not suggesting we should jump through any more hoops other than just reapply and put it out there, would be one of the suggestions. I mean, we could just walk away from it too. That's certainly up for discussion, and I want to go around and see how everyone feels about that.
So we're talking about a pot of $667,000 that is out there and it's available and it's part of the Restore Act.
Correct.
Okay, what are our restrictions for using that money? Does it have to be applied only to dredging, or is there something else in the community? I kind of see Mr. Dibner's point on that. I do feel it was retaliatory because we had gone through and done everything that we did, but if we resubmit, what can we do with it? What can we do to make it something for this whole community, not just the people on the water or just the people in the businesses? What can we do to make it so that we use that money for everybody in this city? I mean, are we restricted?
I think the
Is
issue.
our contract restricted to that?
The original plan was, that was one of the main parts of the original plan, so I think the simplest way to do it, and the most likelihood that we would get that money would be if we resubmitted it back to Channel One. I think that would be the most likely scenario that they may vote to give us that money, because when you look at what that project is and that dredging project is, it benefits not only the city, as I said, it benefits the county too. I mean, obviously, if the canals that link the bayou to the river and in front of all those restaurants, if that's dredged properly, it has a benefit to everyone involved.
Well, I agree with you on that 100%, but are we restricted with this money to do nothing but dredging?
Not necessarily. I think we probably reapply, but I'll let Mr. Lewis answer that question.
The primary purpose, as I understand it, of the Restore Act, was to benefit those communities who were adversely impacted by the BP oil spill. And the funds went to the Treasury Department. Treasury Department then put together this thing through the legislature called the Restore Act to do exactly that. They then worked out a distribution program that went to the various counties. The counties formed committees. Pasco County had a Restore Act committee. And I might be wrong in the number, but somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 or 30 applications went to this Restore Act committee that was chaired by Commissioner Mariano. Two of the recipients, the city of Newport Richey and the city of Port Richey, were awarded funds based on the application submitted to that Restore Act committee. The city of Newport Richey chose to use its funds differently than the city of Port Richey back in 2015. They used it for a different form of dredging, as I understand it, Newport Richey. Pardon me? Right. So, the original program that was submitted included dredging several channels, but also there was another portion that said lighting, streets, sidewalks, and signage in the waterfront area. It was this city's intention to do as much as it possibly could with the $667,000 towards the dredging, and if any was left over, to then begin to attack the street lighting, signage, sidewalks. So there are other avenues that could be submitted back to the county. Now, again, remember, you are not going back to the Restore Act Committee, the RAC Committee. You're going directly, as the mayor spoke, directly to the commissioners themselves. In my opinion, nothing submitted to that commissioners without some grandiose mega compiling of funds from DEP, SWIFT, MUD, whomever in the cloud, to put this huge piggyback deal together would be approved by Commissioner Mariani, because he stated that several different times. However, that's one of five, total of 5 people. So if we went, as the mayor suggested, if you went back and we took our original application and just went straight to the dredging issue and said, Channel 1, as outlined, and submitted it to them without going through the almost year-long process that this city went through back in 2015 to put this application together, and submitted it back to the commission. If the county commission agrees, Treasurer already said it's whatever the county commission wants. So if we can put together a dredging request, they can either up it or down it. If they down it and say no, then of course you can take different courses, as you can today. Move in a different direction if you tell the county you're not interested in moving forward with their $667,000 grant. It's entirely up to the city council and the citizens what you would like to do. You can say, thank you very much, county, we're not interested in obtaining your funds, even though you set aside $667,000 for a reapplication. County Commissioner Moore was very specific about that, to set aside the money so that we would not have to reapply to the RAC. In fact, we do not go back to the RAC, we go directly to the county commission. So if you put together, when I say the council comes up with a direction, we can go back to the county commission itself and have them say yes or no to what.
So we can take dredging completely off the table and say we want to spend that $600,000 on our waterfront district, our lighting, our sidewalks. We can put it in for that.
Biggest part, whatever.
Whatever, right.
Or possibly they might accept it, because it would benefit that entire portion of the community. Again, Treasury gave it back to the county. So you could ostensibly go back to the county and say, okay, this is the direction this city would like to go.
So what you're suggesting is that we go back with the dredging by just saying we're gonna do just Channel 1 because they're upset because we didn't do 18 and 26A? Is that why they're saying we can't? They took it away from us?
Well, I think the reason they took it away is they're seeing the scope, because we had the boat ramps, waterfront park, we had all these other things that were in the plan. They're saying the scope was so broad and we're only doing one of the channels, that's why it was kicked back. So the remedy, in essence, would have been, if you had to go back to the Treasury, the remedy would have been just to narrow the scope back to what we were doing when we submitted it. The Treasury's saying we don't have to do that, we're gonna kick it back to the county and their county commission and let them vote. Once we put a plan together, if they want to give us some money, whatever we put together, then that's fine. If they don't, and they vote it down, then we don't come on. That's what
The boat ramps were never going to be allowed. FCT was never going to let the boat ramps go in at that park. I mean, from the very beginning, from 2
We submitted that years ago.
2015, that was not going to work.
Then
So,
they need, but that's
why
what-
why now all of a sudden are they changing their mind?
But that's where we're at.
I told you the answer to that.
But that's just where we're at.
Well, we
so-
know why they changed their mind.
You know, but that's where we're at, so we have to decide, do we want to just reapply and ask for the money, or do we want to cut it loose? I mean, you know, that's the discussion we're having here.
Well, I think we should reapply for it, but I'm not real sure what the scope should be. I mean, if the money is available, it's there and it's set aside for us, and we can reapply for it, and we can get it to benefit this community in some way, we should do that. But I'm just, you know, I'm trying to get the parameters. Do we have to use it for nothing but dredging? Because the only bid we got was for $630,000. It doesn't leave us much for anything else.
And there's a lot of discussion on that too, because one of the, let's stop and look at Nick's Park. Who uses those boat ramps? Well, not our citizens. We have our own, we're on the water, we have davits, we have private boat ramps. So at the end of the day, who uses Nick's Park? Well, it's the county, okay, the citizens in the county. So if that's where we're at, and we say, hey, we want to dump $600,000 into making Nick's Park better, building a second boat ramp, whatever, making more parking down there, then I would probably presume that it would say, hey, that sounds like a great idea, because it is a benefit.
Right.
You know, so that's where we're at with these discussions, in my opinion, realistically, where we're set. So the question is, do we do that, do we go back to dredging, or do we just walk away? That's kind of where we're here, and we're only kind of halfway around the table, so I kind of wanted to get a couple more views on this and see where we're at.
Earlier, Mr. Lupo, you mentioned something that the county would assist or give us some guidance in reapplying, or?
Well, yeah, what they suggested was that some of their, say, their team would come back and sit with us, and we would try and work out some kind of program that may be acceptable. That's what they were suggesting.
So have we even entered into any discussion like that?
Not yet, no, sir, they have not contacted us about a meeting or put a team together, other than the fact that Mr. Curtis Franklin will be still heading up that portion for the county.
I mean, would it behoove us just to hear, listen to what they're having to offer, or even get some guidance on what the expectations are?
Can I give you my take on that?
Sure.
If we're gonna go after that money, I'd rather put together what we think we should use it for and give it to them and say, this is what we think is best. That's my personal opinion.
I agree with you on that.
You know, I don't think they should dictate on how we should spend the money. I think that we as a council need to put a plan together, give it to them and say, this is what we want, and they either vote yes or they vote no. And that's probably where we're gonna be at. Or we can say, hey, we've jumped through 4 years of those, we're just gonna walk away from them. That's kind of where we're at.
Okay, the other question is, what about our permits? Are they gonna run out because of this little deal, and are we gonna have to start over with that again? Because that's gonna be an expense that would be tremendous. We have to start from square one on that.
I think that when I watched the meeting, there were two commissioners that touched on the permits. It was Commissioner Starkey and Commissioner Moore, and I think that they were both concerned that if we don't expend the money to dredge something, that, you know, that money's just gonna be wasted. So, you know, that's why I'm suggesting we may wanna continue in that direction, because if we say this is what we want, we have the permits, it's gonna expire, if not, this is our source of funding, you know, I think they're more likely to approve.
But didn't we just have a permit expire?
We have one permit that'll expire within a year, and that's it.
Okay.
I doubt very much that we'll be able, despite despite other statements, I doubt very much we'll be able to get another extension.
That's what I was afraid of.
So I think you're really locked into that one point in time. You see, they hamstring you, they hamstrung us with the protocols necessary to go out to bid with what's in the bidding documents, and and the amount of time that's required to accomplish that goal. So if council decides to go forward with with the suggestion of, let's give them what we want, including dredging Channel 1, go out to bid again, the time would be a lot less because it's just minor modifications to the original application. Minor modifications to the original application, literally, and then it's given right back to them. They can say yes or
So
they
we
can say
need the
no.
best use of our resources right now rather than losing it completely and having to start back over again.
Exactly.
Square one.
If we want to dredge.
If you want to dredge. Now, if this council decides in its wisdom that, dredging is the purview of the individuals living on those channels, let's use money for something else. Put an application anyway to the commission to do other things. And if they say no, then fine, thank you very much, go on our own way, but the first $300,000 that you have set aside.
And if they say yes, then whatever we want to spend that money for, if it's approved, then we can do it, but.
So, just for the public, I want to be clear, we're not talking about dredging anything else except Channel 1.
Correct, that was.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
I want
the
the public
residual-
to understand when we're talking about dredging, we're not talking about dredging anything outside of Channel 1.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the residual, if there was any, was to go for the lighting.
For the lighting in the streets and the WLD and the signage. Okay.
There's one
Again, the
person.
understanding of Channel 1 is basically well again, catches all the way over to Seaside.
No, I think it was.
It's half that distance.
So the permit was from, I think,
Basically,
kind
Nick's
of
through.
yeah, what was
Nick's
it?
Park through.
Kind of Nick's Park,
Yeah,
all the way down.
All the way through.
Which would link it, so if you wanted to build another boat ramp or do something with Nick's Park, that would already be dredged. That would be one of the perks.
So from Nick's Park
For
to
the county.
Seaside? Nick's Park to
Nick's Park
Seaside?
to kind of past Channel, past Joe Channel.
Just a little
Just
bit
past
past that?
18.
So everything under the bridge from 19 to Nick's Park is not gonna get done?
No.
There's one person I wanted to weigh in on this, and Mr. McCleary, I value your opinion, I haven't heard it, but you've been in commercial construction and these types of things, and I just wanted to know where you are with this.
Let me step back a little bit. Now, as part of the Restore Act, we had to put up $300,000 plus or minus,
Yes, sir.
which allowed us to dredge Channel 19 and buy the property, put up a nice fence, put up a beautiful sign that says paid for by the county,
Yeah, prepare the site itself.
and all that stuff. Right now, we have 2,500 cubic yards sitting in that dirty dirt, and that's all we have, except for what we have accomplished. The 600,000 would have gotten rid of the dirty dirt in there,
Correct.
dredged Channel 1 theoretically. As of right now, the permits are due to expire October 2020.
Correct.
And we have $300,000 set aside in our 2019-2020 budget as a reserve, I'll call it at this point.
It's upfront expenditures, yes.
Upfront expenditures. But it is a reserve at the end of the day because it becomes a net positive to the
Yes, sir.
budget as it gets refunded.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was never a fan of the bid. Sometimes you can do everything right and just get a bad bid. You don't get enough responses, it just happens. It's just construction. Everyone's busy sometimes, you get a lull, and then you have a great bid and everyone's fighting tooth and nail over it. The other thing I didn't like about the bid is they excluded the disposal of the material, the disposal cost of the material. Yes, the $50 per cubic yard they excluded, and it was set aside in the bid. It was not paid for by the bidders.
I have to. That's not correct, John. No, in other words, as a matter of fact, it's been said here that, but I know that's not correct, because
It's included in the 667, but was not included in the bidder's bid.
the bidders bid, it was,
The
they
The
bid,
bidder submitted his price. He did not include the county charges.
No, but the figure you received and voted on included that.
Correct. Yeah, so it was included in the.
Yeah, and just so you understand the facts, when the spoils were in the spoil site, we got a quote how much it would be to remove those 3,500 cubic yards, whatever, 2,500 cubic yards. And it came to X amount of dollars a cubic yard. And then when we put it out to bid, and when you do the math for how much that's 600,000, it's like 155 to remove it. What's in there, and another, maybe a little bit more than that, because more would be being.
It was included in the bid, but the bidder wasn't carrying.
Yes, it was included in the price that you agreed upon, but my point.
But the bidder was not carrying. That's what I was trying to get.
Correct. But the amount that was being charged was identical to what we were quoted before from the previous director.
I understand that,
Okay.
but what we're not doing is a competitive disposal of the cost. So they can go outside the county and dispose of it, as long as it's a Class A facility, then the bidder can take the responsibility for disposal of the material.
Yeah, well, however you do it, if you just bid just for disposal, it might be different. I'm not arguing with that, I just wanted to get the facts straight.
So basically, we had one bidder who excluded from his bid the cost, and we put in a placekeeper. It wasn't a competitive bid all the way around for the entire scope of work. If we go out and rebid this, hopefully, we would get better response and get a more competitive bid all the way across, meaning, the scope of work plus the disposal costs. So I'm not against trying to rebid this in some fashion, any way we can.
You're gonna have to rebid it.
I understand that. I'm supporting it going out to rebid.
They have to.
I know, stop arguing.
No, I'm trying to tell you, I'm not trying to argue with you. You're making the point that we should go out to rebid, and when you say we should, that's different than we must.
I understand.
Okay, so you're gonna go out to rebid it anyway.
What I'm saying is, we're probably, and my opinion would be, we have $300,000 of additional funding. That is a reserve, but it is additional to the budget. If we were to cancel it and tell the county to go away tomorrow, we would still have that $300,000 that we could spend on waterfront improvements or whatever the case may be. If we resubmit to the county and say, well, tell you what, let's rebid Channel 1 all the way through, get responsive bidders, hopefully the price will come down more with a better bid. We also include, include it in the scope, let's do the sidewalks, let's do the lighting improvements, since we have this new one-way and the new signage, since we have this new one-way plan and are developing our waterfront park, and let's chip in 200,000 of the 300,000 in reserve. Since the sidewalks aren't under the deadline of October 2020, we have some room to move the money around and be reimbursed and utilize that 300,000 to make it work. And then at the end, when the dredging is finished and we get reimbursed, we put through the sidewalks, and that makes a more complete project. That may be a little more entertaining to the county. If they say no, they're not interested, then we take our 300,000 and say, okay, fine, we don't do any dredging, and away we go. But this allows us to, one, try and get rid of that 25 or 3,500 cubic yards of dirty dirt that's sitting there, and get someone else to pay for it. Get some improvements to the waterfront overlay district that our citizens can see right away. And the reason I said 200,000 is let's reserve another 100,000 of that for future work. Let's work with, either the committee or the Port Authority board. Get some citizens input, see how we want to do the rest of the dredging throughout the county. And it starts to set aside money on a yearly basis. Now, 100,000 a year, I'll tell you right now, will not cover dredging, but at least it gets the ball rolling, gets an engineer engaged. Do we really need to dredge all of the canals 5 feet down, 40 feet across? Probably not, but with the citizens' input, we can start identifying what needs to be dredged the most and get the engineering working for that. That's what that 100,000 a year goes to. And then there will probably be a special assessment, or the committee or the board can work and see how we can identify other sources of funding. SWIFT, MUD, DEP, whatever even Mariano says, which I don't believe that to be the case, but there's no use to rule it out.
But we don't have to use $100,000 for dredging either.
We don't have to use the $100,000 for dredging, it's a set aside. It can be used for engineering for dredging, it can be used for engineering for future roads, it can be used for anything, but the money's there.
Because we're gonna have to redo the roads and everything down there too, once we do the one.
Again, but let's start increasing the scope, throw in another 200,000, so instead of, 1 to 2, $2 by, we're actually almost to a 1-to-1 scenario. That shows a lot of, resolve on Port Richey's side to the county, hey, we're almost matching you dollar for dollar, even though we don't have to, for this plan to go through. And if they don't like it, then we take our 300,000 and go home and do something else.
All right, I want to circle back. Because I've heard.
Is there a deadline from RAC to, they're gonna hold the money aside, but they have a deadline where we have to come back with an answer?
Well, you're gonna be locked into the October 2020.
Well, that's a year, but I mean, other than that,
But you're gonna have to.
County, no,
there's nothing from the county.
But bidding and everything else is easily a 3-month process. If we said go tomorrow, it's 3 months from now. And that's already putting us into March of 2020.
We're gonna be 6 months out before we're there, by the time we get through them and back at it.
Yeah, so figure a month or two between us and the county to figure out what we're doing. And then another 2 to 3 months for a proper bid, correct? So that's 5 months before we can even. All right, so we're already 6 months. Basically, we need to, if we're gonna go after Restore Act funds for dredging, we're going to have to make a decision fairly quickly.
Tomorrow.
That's why I think that's why.
And the other point is, do we want to go after the Restore Act funds for dredging, period? And not use the Restore Act funds to vitalize the city?
To me, if someone says, hey, you got a 10% shot at 600,000, all you gotta do is say, increase the plan, why not? Which they say is no when we take our 300,000 and go home.
No, but my point is, why can't we resubmit saying what we want to do with waterfront district and what we want to do with parks, or what we want to do with
We want to buy property for parking
or whatever.
Right.
Get rid of dredging.
Take it off the plate. I mean, we've been chasing dredging in the city for 15 years,
Well, to that end, if we do, I do think we should put together, as we owe to our citizens at least, to put together a plan to review dredging. If it's a committee that they work on and come back to us. But we have to bring this to a head, because it's been going on for 20 years, and I've only been here for 2, and it's driving me nuts.
Right, and I agree, but look at it this way, that Channel 1 is gonna benefit how many people in our city? Really?
Anyone that lives on the bayou at some point.
The Channel 1 is actually gonna be the start, it's gonna get you in to do further channels if you're gonna do.
If you're gonna do, where's that money gonna come from in the future?
Well, that's where.
So we get one big deep canal, and then another 15 years go by, we have no more money from anywhere to dredge again. So all we will accomplish is one big hole in front of the restaurants.
Here's what I'm thinking though, if the one big hole, if you go out to bid and rebid it, and the one big hole now only costs you $400,000 or $500,000 instead of $600,000. Now we have another $100,000 that we can put towards lighting, waterfront overlay district sidewalks, paving the waterfront overlay district, or anything else that we decide to look into.
Then how do we go about putting it out for bid again when we actually didn't we already approve a bid to someone?
And I just wanted to make one other point, is we're kind of dealing with something where previous administration spent a lot of money to get permits where we're at now. So the question is, do we go after dredging? And if we're going to do it, I think we have to start now while we have permits. If you abandon it now, you're basically saying we're just not gonna dredge.
So here's the thing with the permits running out, and the reason I'm saying the board or the committee put it together. It's gonna take you another 2 years minimum to get new permits once these expire. That gives the board committee 2 years to get residents input, to try and put together a plan of areas that require minimal dredging, and see how we can best, because right now we'll have 2 benefits. One, you'll have actual numbers from multiple bids, so you'll know exactly how much it costs to take a cubic yard of spoils out of the canal and dispose of it. That's super valuable, that's something that no one's really had, everyone's been working, even the county doesn't have it, they're working off of engineers' guesses, and those aren't necessarily accurate to what is in the marketplace. So the committee will have that valuable information, and they'll have the ability to meet more than once every 2 weeks, or whatever the case may be, and talk to residents where we really can't as much, and see, you know, channel XYZ is only really bad at the very end, and get that in the scope. And you, to my mind, use money more for engineering, so you really hone in on the critical parts of these canals, instead of saying 5 foot down, 40 feet wide, do them all. And, you know, what, 72,000 cubic yards of material later, yeah, every canal's done, but we've also spent almost $8 million. Let's get it down to where we can hone in and only get 12,000 cubic yards, or whatever that magic number is, with residents' input. Only spend the minimum amount, maybe $1 million, and I'm making up numbers here. Let's try and get it value engineered as tight as possible, even if we spend more on engineering at the beginning, to really give our residents need, which is someplace to put their boats. That's all they care about. They don't need 5 foot down, 40 feet wide, all the way across.
I got a question on the permit. If we move forward, get it approved, and halfway, or as we're doing this dredging, and that time period comes up, and we're in the middle, does it end there, or?
A permit isn't a time frame for when you must start, it's a time frame when you must finish. Does that answer your question?
Correct. So we would have to finish.
So in other words, right, you'd have to finish by that day.
Yeah, no more dredging would be allowed after October.
Right.
Now, if you're November 5th, they'll probably look at you funny and say you're bad, but, you know.
They'll fine you.
They will fine you, but you can usually, especially if you can do weather delays and everything else, you can usually try and get some clemency to it.
I think we have two different parts of this discussion that I've broken up, and I think we should break it down. Number one, do we reapply or not reapply? Number two, do we reapply, including the dredging channel 1, and put that back off bid or start over again? If we can go back to the money. Those are really, if we break it down into two separate, it may be an easier discussion. So we should probably just go down the line and say, do we even want to chase this money at all from the Restore Act, from the county? And then if the majority say yes, then the next vote is, do we pursue dredging versus scrap it and start with something else with the money to reapply? If that makes sense. You guys on board with that? So what I want to do is go down the line and say,
No, I get, yeah. I'm not one for leaving money on the table anywhere, but I don't think it's also, I don't think maybe the dredging is in the best interest of the city, to dredge one canal. We have a lot of money that we can do a lot of things, we're a small city. I mean, our downtown, our parks, we have a lot of areas that money can be used for. And I'm for reapplying, dropping the dredging off, or if you guys think we can timely get rebid and get lower numbers and all that, I mean, I don't see it happening per se. I don't think the commissioners are going our way on any of this, so.
yeah, but we can't just guess that. We either reapply or we don't.
Well, that's what I just said. I said reapply, but you're going in a different direction.
Sure, and I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to leave the money on the table either. I mean, if it's out there and it's available for the city to use, I think we should pursue it.
So let's stop there. By consensus, are we agreeing that we're gonna resubmit something to see if we can get this money?
Yes.
So, okay, so that's step number one. Step number two, let's go around and say, if we were to reapply, would you want to start over again or redredge channel 1? And I think you've already kind of answered.
But we're not restarting all over again. All we have to do is submit a plan according to what we've been told.
Correct, but it can include either.
Right.
Include anything. You said dredging may not be the best idea, we can do other stuff with it.
Right, and that's what I think is the best. I mean, personally, I think that's the way to go.
And then I'm gonna go down to Councilwoman Sorrell to see your opinion on that issue.
That's a tough one, it really is. I mean, I know how putting together a package with the dredging in it would make it look more appealing to the county because it would be a benefit to them also. But I'm kind of for using all the money for the benefit of the citizens of the city, not necessarily the dredging. Dredging is it's a different animal. It's a totally different animal. So I would say, start over, get a new plan.
Okay. My humble opinion, it's not an easy scenario. One of the things people ask me, now whether I'm in the Rotary or out and about, what do I think about dredging? And I see dredging in two different categories. I see dredging main canals, such as Channel 1, which everybody utilizes, as something that we should look at for government grant money, federal money to utilize it for. When we're talking about dredging people's backyards, like the one behind my house and your house, Mr. Dittmer, if we want to dredge, who should pay for it? Yeah, us, me. So, you know, that's kind of the school of thought on dredging. That having been said, I'm not willing to walk away from dredging main canals at this point with the permits still in place and the money on the table. And the reason why is because I think we've worked so hard, when I say we, the city, prior administrations, to get this far. So that having been said, I think we should reapply. My suggestion would be in line with what Councilperson McCleary was saying, that we should just strike the boat ramps and all the other stuff from the bid, put the bid package back together, or the package back together to suggest dredging Channel 1 and then residual, whatever that may be, back into the waterfront overlay district, Nix Park, whatever the case may be. So that would be my humble opinion on that particular issue.
I kind of set forth what I thought with it. The other thing, and the main reason why I am pushing, I am kind of aligned with the mayor, that public channels should be by public money and backyard should be by the private individual. However, what we're also forgetting is, let's say tomorrow we say we're not going to dredge at all. We still have 2,500 cubic yards of dirty dirt sitting on a plot of land that's going to have to be cleaned up. So if we said we're never dredging again, you still have a $300,000 bill to pay to get rid of that dirty dirt, because there's no way you'll ever be able to sell that land, give that land, whatever, with all that dirty dirt there. So you still have an obligation to clean up what has been works of the past that we have to get rid of. And hopefully this money, this bid, this rebid kind of cleans that up a little bit too. So it empties out the dirty dirt, it gets a channel dredged, it gets some lighting to our waterfront district, and maybe some sidewalks. And if it costs us another $200,000 out of our budget to do it, then at least then we have a clean slate across. And if we say, you know what, we're never dredging again, all right, then you sell the land or build something or do whatever improvement you want. At least then it's cleaned up and it's done, and we have a clean slate.
I have a question about that. Can I ask that?
Just make one quick point.
Okay.
We're gonna spend the $200,000 either way, whether we try and match their bid or whether we dispose of whatever's out there. So I'm on board with that concept, and I wanted to go back to
You're talking about getting rid of the dirty dirt that's there before we can dredge again, but if we dredge again, we're gonna put dirty dirt back on there again, so how are we gonna get rid of it again?
That's part of the bid.
You can make part of
It's gonna
it.
be but it has to sit for so long before we can even move it.
Yeah, but the money will still be sitting.
That's to sit for 30
Oh, okay.
days.
Right, yeah.
And then it can move out. So if everything lines up fast enough, you know, the dirty dirt can be removed. And the permit, and correct me if I'm wrong, is just for digging the dirt out of the water. It's not for disposal. So if the disposal of the dirt runs past the October 2020.
It's a non-issue.
It's a non-issue, doesn't matter.
We've had some pretty even opinions here, and now we go back to the councilperson Kinsella, and I'm interested in.
It's an eye-opener on this game of politics. again, first of all, we don't need to walk away from this. We got the money there, we need to take advantage of it. So if we submitted this re-bid for the dredging, and it goes to the county and they, again, turn it down, I mean, are we lost with this money completely, or can we resubmit something else, or?
We were already told that if we try and get back to the committee, we're not gonna get it anymore. So this is what we have to do.
That's what I'm saying, we need to make it as enticing as possible to them say yes. If they say no, then we walk away. I mean, we don't know them, but you gotta make it enticing.
But we have county commissioners saying that, recognizing that that hub in our city is very useful to not just our citizens, but the entire county. So I think they would be receptive, at least some of them, depending on what we put together, and that's what we're talking about now. Do we just walk away from the dredging and we say, hey, we want to develop the park, we want to get parking, we want to do roads, whatever. I mean, we can put it in any plan we want.
Maybe there's a misunderstanding on my part. It seems to me like the county, I was told that the Treasury said it's up to the county to make a decision. Okay, so that part, we're all clear on that. So at that point, why didn't the county say, we don't really care that your scope of work has changed to Channel 1, go ahead and do it, it's already approved? Why did they not vote that?
There was a discussion led by Commissioner Mariano about basically the same things he said here before this council, and that is his vision was to use that $600 and something thousand in concert with other entities for a mass project.
Including the White Elephant.
Doesn't do anything in under a year.
I'm only articulating what happened at that meeting. And the back and forth was between several county commissioners, but primarily Commissioner Moore and Commissioner Mariano. And eventually what occurred was Commissioner Moore moved over the objections of Commissioner Mariano to remove the decision from the RAC, the Restore Act Committee, and place it solely with the county commission, and to set aside that $667 approximate dollars so that it would not be given away by RAC to someone else.
And I'll ask the question again, couldn't they have voted at that point to just give us the funds?
The issue at that time was the comment from the Treasury Department stating that the county must move forward and terminate the original submittal between the county and it, the Treasury Department. And once they did that, they would then notify us, give us 30 days notification, I believe that's the amount, to do whatever we have to do.
But the important thing, from my mind, is listening to the other county commissioners outside of Mr. Mariano to see what their opinions are. And you had two that were concerned, number one, that the dredging permits were expiring. Just so you know, Commissioner Wells, I don't think was there,
He was on vacation.
Yeah, he was on vacation. He wasn't at that meeting. But if you listen to Commissioner Moore, who's an avid voter, he's saying, look, there's a great need in our city and a great need in our community, whether it's city or county, for this project to be done. And I don't understand why we can't just put the package together and do it. So that was kind of his point, that was his position. But I think we can kind of take note of what he's saying, and if that's what the direction he's saying, we should, I'm not suggesting that he's saying we should do that, but that's just what he said at the meeting, opposed to what Mr. Mariano was suggesting. Knowing what he said and what his position is, and I think it was Commissioner Starkey made a comment about their permits are going to expire soon, you know, kind of insinuating that maybe we should do something with dredging and get it done. I think our likelihood of getting that money may be greater if we do put something together that involves dredging, that's the only reason I'm suggesting that. Because if we abandon dredging altogether, and I think that that's what our needs are, they'll just say, no, you can't have the money and walk away, and that's where we're at. So, you know, that's.
The consensus that I seem to be hearing is that we should meet with the county staff and then resubmit our application for the dredging of Channel 1 and the removal, of course, of spoils, and with any residuals being left. Any residuals being left towards signage, streets, et cetera, and then to include, as a bonus, if you will, approximately $200,000 of our 300 reserve towards that project. That's what I'm hearing.
I think you're gonna have to earmark funds and intimate to the county that the sidewalks and the lighting will be done. So the 200,000 is earmarked for that. Residuals from the dredging add to that 200,000. Because the county wants to see, my guess is the other commissioners want to see more for the money spent, Restore Act funds spent, than one channel dredged. And if they get one channel dredged plus a guarantee of, you know, sidewalks and or lighting or something, then it makes it more palatable. We're getting something more than just a channel dredge.
But did we have to spend that whole 300 to get the funds?
No,
We don't. Okay. Yeah, we did, but that was the DMSI.
Yeah, our obligation is done, so.
Yeah, so I agree with that. If we direct our funds towards the things that the city can use right away, lighting, things like that, and reapply with the dredging and that, with us throwing in our funds towards those items, I'm all for that. I want to see something in the city and not a big hole that.
And then at least if there's leftover restore funds, then that comes to us and we get even more bang for our dollar, and then it's fully utilized.
And that was a criticism of Mr. Mariano's, we didn't leverage the money, but if we leverage it with our own money, I can't think of any better way to leverage it.
True. Very
If we
true.
direct our funds to what we need and use their funds for the hole in the water.
But it still benefits the county.
It does benefit the county, you're right.
Okay, I agree, then I think that's the direction we should take.
Yes, I believe I have the direction.
Okay.
I think we should get our comments.
Oh.
Yes.
You guys.
Sure. You said it all.
Okay, Linda Rodriguez, 597 report. I know nothing about dredging, let me put that right on the table, except for on the waterfront, so I have no idea. You said Channel 1 is in front of the Hooters Seaside, that's public. Public to who? To the restaurants and to the buying? That doesn't do anything for me. I don't get that. I don't understand why it's such a big deal to dredge, and maybe somebody please help me and explain this to me.
If you live in Holiday and you wanna go fishing, we're probably one of the only games in town in terms of putting your boat in and being able to go into the bayou and go out to still houses and fish. And if we dredge that, it opens that up to not just our citizens who live on the water and want a boat, or recreational boating, fishing, whatever, but it opens up to everyone in the county. Or.
Everybody with a boat.
Correct. Correct.
And here's one thing I wanted to clarify, the 200,000 is not being spent towards dredging. We're not spending another dollar towards
That's all
dredging.
federal money for that.
Everything is spent, has been spent previously. The 200,000 is going to sidewalks, waterfront overlay district improvements, whether the county says yes or no. We're just using that as a leverage to try and get that restored.
I mean, the lighting and the sidewalks in waterfront are much more beneficial to me as a resident who does not live on the water.
Sure.
Because I will get hit by a car as I'm going from restaurant to restaurant.
And that's gonna be-
A farmer who goes from bar to bar doesn't get hit by a car at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's more beneficial to me.
And that's where your tax dollars will be spent. That's where
That's where, yeah.
We're only using
The
the
Fed,
I agree with you, that we need.
the federal money's gonna dig the hole. The federal money's gonna dig the hole, and we're putting in the money to do the things that would benefit everybody
We're
here.
using our money as an enticement for them to give,
Us the money that we're supposed to get.
is that we're supposed to get anyway?
I was just so confused as to, we're talking $600,000, we're going back and forth, that was hole in the wall, and it's in front of the restaurant. Then let the restaurant pay, they're citizens too, they pay taxes, I get it, but you said, you know, why should I pay, not for your backyard? Well, that's their backyard. Sure. Why am I paying for their backyard?
You're not, that's grant money, that's.
That's not, you're not paying for that, right?
And that channel is the most public of all the other channels that we've been talking about for dredging.
And I do understand that, so, all right, thank you.
Angel Nally, 7726 Grand Boulevard. Just a thought, I understand that the dredging by the restaurants and everything is good. We only have one boat ramp there. I don't see when we're gonna have another one that would help everyone else that wants to go fishing. And not everybody goes fishing from Pasco County there, but parking is an issue down there. And so for our city to, you know, want to benefit Pasco County, I would think that, creating a parking area down there, especially with having a traffic pattern and everything else, I don't understand why parking wouldn't be something we would look at, because that would definitely generate a lot more, people coming down town to that waterfront area, enjoying the park, enjoying the restaurants, having a place to park. Because I know that's one of the most frustrating things for a lot of people that I've heard that don't go by boat, is to go down there and find parking is too much, of a pain to go and enjoy the waterfront area. So I don't know if that's something to consider as well, because the dredging, I think, as much as a lot of work and effort has gone into, getting these grants or getting the paperwork done and all this stuff, it seems to be like a rabbit trail that has put a lot of our city into not only a lot of time debt, but now we're, at a position where, yes, there's this money waiting there, and now we're trying to find a way to get it, to get something done. I'm one of those people that if I have to work hard to get something, it's usually not a good idea. And so sometimes, like any bad relationship, you just kind of walk away and cut your losses. And unfortunately, in our situation, with the dredging that's happened, we haven't had a good start from this at the beginning. And with everything that's happened in the past, it'd be great if we were already having a hold up, we had great federal money, we had great support from the county, from the beginning, with the city, and had great city support. That was, you know, a whole different situation. But by the time we get this up and going, I doubt the hole's gonna be dug before the permit is actually, you know, expired. So I think, you know, it's really sad that we put so much time and effort into something, and then here we are having to force ourselves to find something to do with this money. So, that's just my 2 cents, and I think you guys are doing a great job. But, you know, outside of dredging, we also have a parking, facility that can be, you know, utilized to bring more patrons down to our beautiful park and recreational area there as well.
And I just wanted to comment on one thing that you said, about kind of cutting your relationship and moving on with the county. We're not there yet. The original bid was nixed because of the federal guidelines and issues between the feds and the county. The county's holding that money. We may reapply and then they'll both say, hey, here you go. So we don't know where that relationship is gonna be at until they look at our plan and either vote it up or vote it down, and we'll know exactly where we stand once that happens.
Right, I guess I meant basically just the dredging part. You know, there's, you know, all these years trying to make this happen, trying to get this money, trying to find it, somebody wants you to piggyback this, you know, somebody wants you to do it this way, and everybody's got this idea and vision, and here we've got a piece of land this big to put a hole in, and we haven't gotten anywhere. And meanwhile, we can have a parking garage, sidewalks, lights, a wonderful little area.
Can I draw this? We don't own any of the property in that area.
No, but we can help improve some of the areas down there that are ours to help bring people down, the lighting and the things that.
We don't own anything in that area.
The only thing we own is the street going down to.
That's right, we don't own
What's the
anything
name
in
of
that
that?
area.
Seaside Inn.
Maybe we should.
Right.
Well,
Just a thought, so, but maybe we should, parking's really important, so.
Thank you very much. I saw that there were other people signed up.
And then after Ms. Rogers, we'll go to Mr. Palumbo.
Pat Rogers, 4838 Sunset Boulevard. When did the Treasury actually decide that we were not doing acceptable, that they were going to deny our plan? Was that after the debacle with Representative Mariano trying to have our city dissolved?
It's about the same time. This is the same time frame.
Convenient. What assurance do we have if we go forward and we spend our money and go through all the bidding processes that we'll even get that 600,000? Do we have any insurance on that at all?
Once they approve it, if that's the way they vote, then we'll put it back on bid.
Yeah, if we theoretically write up a detailed plan, and submit it,
How many hoops do we have to jump through for them to come back and say, sorry?
Well, the hoops are no longer with the Treasury, the federal government, which are the bigger
With
hoops.
Mr. Mariano.
Correct.
And-
Well, I mean,
and
the county in
just
general.
to go on public record, this is the fourth attempt by him and his cronies to destroy our city. And the other 3 times got voted down by public referendum. This time he tried an end run, it didn't work either. He's gonna try again. Everybody stay sharp.
Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Mr. Colombo, I'd like to invite you to the podium.
Bill Colombo, 7810 Chestnut Street. And just for some clarification for folks, basically Restore Act is a federal program. It's money's grant that was arranged between the federal government and DP. It was allocated amongst the counties, and that's why the last action before the county commission had us down as a sub-applicant. And the money goes to the county. So basically, we're in a position right now to come up with another plan to give back to the county to resubmit to the feds to meet their guidelines, and then if in fact it's acceptable to the feds, then it comes back, and then we can bank that.
There's no resubmitting to the Fed. No. They're done.
The Fed released the money to the county and said, do what you will with it with orders.
So now it's,
Okay, so yeah, help me understand here then. So essentially, it was the feds that said that you can't do it because it deviated, substantially deviated from the submitted plan. But we don't have to resubmit a plan.
They have to resubmit it to the county and then they can do what they want with it.
The feds designated the county as the arbiter of the funds.
Correct.
But, so it wasn't the feds that kicked back the submitted plan, as in the dredge did not.
No matter what happens, we would have to still abide by all of the federal regulations involved.
Right.
Without batting an eye. So even though the county would say yes or no to whatever we intend to do, we would still have to abide by federal Davis-Bacon Act and all of the other issues.
Right, yeah, because my understanding was essentially what happened the other night was they essentially said, we're terminating this sub-agreement, and we are setting aside that $667,000 for the city, depending on what we were doing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but that does not have to go back up to the federal level then?
It has to meet the guidelines, though.
Right. You have to meet the general guidelines of what the purpose of the Restore Act was, which is to improve the areas that were impacted by.
Sure, and I understand this came out of Power One money, and Power One money, they focused on working waterfront and waterfront access. That's what made our city so appealing for the Power One money. The only other thing I want to clarify, Channel 1 that we're dredging, where is that stopping, or where is the beginning of the southern end? I know it's terminating up around Channel 18, but where is the beginning of the southern end?
John, do you know that off the top?
Okay, the reason I bring it,
I have to pull
the reason I bring it up is given the location of our boat ramp, and given the traffic that it gets, I would venture to say, just to pull a figure out of thin air, that 99% of the people that launch that boat ramp are not going to use a channel that goes up into Miller's Bayou. They're going out on the river. Some of them may go into the for one reason or another, but it's not like there's gonna be any substantial improvement to launching of boats from the boat ramps at Nick Park by dredging, because you're essentially dumping right into the river right there. I mean, I launched there, I never had a problem with the water, just saying. So I just wanted to clarify that point. I don't see where dredging Channel 1 is particularly pertinent to boat launching at Nick's Park. Thank you.
Mr. Mueller?
Dave Mueller, 5439 Blue Point Drive. This thing doesn't work very well here. I think you guys have missed a couple of important points. We have a Port Authority, and I don't see anybody around here from that group. It would have been nice to have them present and be able to act on this. And I know from what I saw at the county commission, Mariano was trying to leverage, and he sat here right at this, or stood here right at this podium, trying to leverage other funds to try to get more bang for the buck. And you gotta commend the person for trying to do more and leverage money. I don't like leaving money on the table either, and if somebody's got a better idea, I'm willing to listen. One of the things is, board members need to be able to be contacted for that situation. And if we have a Port Authority committee that is supposed to be responsible for bringing these kinds of issues before this board, well, let's get them engaged, you know? And if part of the criteria to go back and get these funds are to sit down with the county, put our heads together, work through that, I think we need to engage that group of folks as well. That board needs to be part of this plan and make that recommendation. That's a responsibility that you guys have established. So I recommend you go back and look at that as an opportunity to bring people with good ideas together and try to go back and leverage as much as you can there. One of the other things, both Scott and Todd, you guys both ran on dredging. There's no council liaison attached to that committee. One of you guys would be a great candidate for that. I recommend one or both joining that committee, and let's pull together the history and let's move forward. I believe also there's two permits. There's a dredge permit and a maintenance dredge permit. One of them expires in 2020, and I think the other one's a couple of years further out. That one, I believe, that expires a couple of years out is the main channels, Channel 1, 18, and the other one there. The residential canals were on the maintenance dredge that are scheduled to expire. And, you know, when Todd was mentioning potential rescope this project, focus on what you can get done in the time, and then potentially go back and look at potentially assessing homeowners that have waterfront needs and addressing that in some kind of way that's equitable for those individuals as well. Remember, these canals got silted in from lack of maintenance, and the reality is the county and city, somebody hasn't maintained that over time. Over 50 or 60 years, these things were cut. So it's pay me now or pay me later, and now what we've got is this huge bill that is basically, having to come to. But I appreciate if you look at the Port Authority, engage them, let's get it together, and let's get something done.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller.
There 33 groups looked at the bid documents, and only one person submitted a bid. You know, and we went out every which way possible.
Did you know that was the other people didn't have time to do it?
No, it was ample time for anyone.
Thanks. And the last person that was signed up was
Reverend Spalding. Okay. Thank you. But before we close the discussion, is there anyone else in the general public that has spoken yet that would like to? Seeing no hands, I saw a hand up over here. Was that you? No. Okay. At this time, I guess by consensus, what we're gonna do is put together another package that includes some matching money from the city for the waterfront overlay district to try to leverage their money.
200 from the city.
200 from the city earmarked to lighting and sidewalks in the waterfront district.
Signage, improvement package.
And any reserve, rebid the Channel One, any reserves then go to the sidewalks waterfront.
Yes.
But that bid will have to go out immediately, correct?
As soon as possible.
Get it in a,
And you don't laugh at me, but we probably want to reapply for the 67,000, which was 10% of the Restore Act too. If they wanted to.
well, they shot that down last time.
They certainly did.
And who was that?
It's a committee apparently, so. Yeah.
Plus 10%. Yeah, throw that into
Throw that into it, see what they do with it.
Sure.
So, all right, at this time, I'd like to wrap up that discussion on item 3 and move on to item 4. And that's gonna be the consideration of the phone system upgrade purchase, and I'm gonna pass that to Mr. Lupo.
Yes, Mayor. Consideration of a phone system upgrade purchase. For city council consideration is the purchase of an upgraded phone system with Voyant Phone Systems. The city currently uses Windstream phone services. Upgrading to Voyant Phone System will provide the city with an enhanced features such as the migration into a cloud-based system and the elimination of 2 servers, which includes a reduction of monthly phone costs by an estimate of approximately $600. The city has obtained 3 quotes for this purchase that are included in the agenda packet for review. This purchase includes a one-time setup fee of $1,555.70 and $1,088.65 in monthly fees. Funds for this purchase are budgeted in the general fund 1-516-300-410. Staff recommendation is to approve the agreement with Voyant Phone Systems.
At this time, I'm gonna open this up for either discussion and or motion, to the general council.
I just had a quick question. The savings on the phone, I'm guessing because we're going to an internet-based phone, is that where we're saving money?
Yes, there's part of that, plus we get all new equipment and everything, but we save 2 servers.
Okay, so the savings are coming from?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Motion to approve agreement with Voyant Phone Systems.
Second.
There's several people that are signed up for this, so I'm gonna open it to discussion before we vote. On the phone system, there's 2 people that signed up. Reverend Spalding was the first.
I just wanted to say it was a no-brainer.
Thank you. And Dave Mueller?
Dave Mueller, 5439 Blue Point Drive. What I find interesting is there's no comparison of a bid 1, 2, or 3. You're talking about a $40,000 spend, it's a 3-year commitment. What's the rollover after 3 years? There's a lot of uncertainty here that I don't see explained in a comparison of bids. Has our financial people looked at this? Andrew Laffa, has he confirmed that this is the route to go? I'd like a recommendation.
Yes, he has, sir.
Okay, that would be good information to put forward. Appreciate that. I'd like to see this thing laid out in a way that we have a like-to-like comparison. I saw in 2 of the other bids, there were the quotes, they looked like they had 55 handsets. And this bid that we're moving forward with looks like it has fewer. So there's some obvious discrepancies there, and I think it would be easier for the council to address and digest this material if it was laid out in a format that probably the right thing to do. I didn't see the final contract. I can't determine where we stand on the renewals. I always like to lock my renewals in and make sure we have price protection so they can't escalate. So those are some things that I don't see in this, that would be good to see. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller. At this time, Mr. Colombo, invite you to the podium.
Just a question. I'm an old IT guy and a telco guy myself, but obviously technology moves on. When you're strictly a cloud-based system, what happens when the internet goes down? You don't have any in-house communications at that point?
Sir?
When your connection to the internet goes down, it's a cloud-based system. When that happens with this type of system, do you have any interoperability from handset to handset, or you're basically just going to cell phones?
That's my understanding, and partly there is a backup system involved. And just for the record, the Voya contract over 3 years is equivalent to about $70,000. The state contract is $46,000. The other contract is at $39,000. So the city wins all the way down, coming in and going.
Oh, I see the savings. I'm just curious to the nuts and bolts of it. You know, being a business, you know, that obviously does a lot of critical business. I've had times, again, I used to do telco. You know, when the switch went into a hard reboot, you were down for, you know, a half a day. That was a serious impact on the business. But you know, when you're dependent on essentially all of your individual phones are all connected to the cloud, and for some reason your internet connection goes down, I was just curious what happens then. I guess you just don't get to use your phones.
I believe there's a backup system built into it.
Yeah, just, okay. I was curious.
Thank you. There's no further comments by the general public. Before we vote, I just want to see if there's any other comment or question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
The same system based on our emergency lines, the fire department and so forth, well, the backup.
They're all, yeah, that's fully compatible with the CAD system that was just reinstalled. They're all compatible.
Is that what the county uses, or?
I don't know what phone system the county uses, but the CAD system is the county system.
We'll be connected directly to the county with the CAD system, so even if the phones went down, we could communicate through the CAD system. But we've had phone systems go down back there and it shuts everything down. So once we're up and running with the county, we'll be able to communicate right through the CAD system.
So it won't affect emergency services?
No, sir.
No. And the 911 is a separate system that's run, that's owned and maintained by the county.
That was the only question that I had. With that, if there's no other comment or question, at this point, there's been a motion and a second. So I'm going to put it up to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. I'd like to move on to item 5 of council business, and this is the consideration of Pasco County Radio Agreement. And I'm going to open that up to Mr. Lugo as well.
Please want to attach the agreement with Pasco County Radio regarding repairs. This equipment is the property of Pasco County, and they reserve the right to designate approved repair technicians or contractors. Request motion to approve the Pasco County Radio agreement.
At this time, I'm going to open it up for discussion and/or motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Pasco County Radio Agreement.
Second.
Before we vote, there's no one signed up for this. If anyone would like to comment, seeing no hands go up, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We're going to move on to our last item on council business for the evening, and that's consideration of collective bargaining unit contracts. That one I'm going to go over to our city attorney for that.
These are the two union contracts. I don't know if they've ever seen these before. The first one is the CWA, the next is the police, PBA. The only thing changing these agreements from 2 years ago, which was the last time we entered into an agreement, is within the CWA, we changed who's a member of the union, and instead of having to list every single job title, those that are hourly employees will be eligible to be in the union, and those that are salaried employees will not. The only other change in this, and I believe it's on page 17, is a 3% raise, as well as a 2% one-time bonus. I believe that's page 17. Just want to say it. Everything else just stays the same. Yes, page 17. 17 to 25. And then with regard to the PBA contract, if you look on, the only thing that's changed is the exact same salary changes, 32 and 33. This is the officers and dispatch, and that's the same 3% increase that you agreed upon, as well as the 2% lump sum bonus, paid one time. Looking for a motion just to authorize the mayor to sign these. They will then go over to the union. After the union signs it, we get issued the checks. The last promise we made, which is not in the union contracts, they actually took our word on this, is that we would increase in our personnel manual the tuition reimbursement, which is now $150 if somebody takes a course, to $300. I'll be bringing back a resolution for that. The personnel manual used to be an ordinance. We used to have to go through all that trouble. Now we just change it with the vote. So, any questions? They both agree to this. Both unions are about one vote. So,
Motion to approve the collective bargaining contracts.
There's a motion and a second. There's no one signed up. I don't see any hands. At this time, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. That concludes our council business, which now brings us to old business. So I'm going to start with my left, Vice Mayor, and we'll work around if there's any old business.
Not really old business. A few of us got to attend the MAP meeting last week, which, listening to some of the other cities, we have a lot going on in our town. And it was nice to see that compared to Zephyr Hills and Dade City, we've got a lot moving forward, so that was nice. Not old business, but something that was good to see.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm good. We talked about the handicap playground last meeting, and that's supposed to take place after the first year.
Yes, the beginning of the year, in fact, we set a time of February 20th. February 20th.
Excellent.
I have no old business, so good on my right.
Actually, I have one. We were talking about this a little bit, the Nix Park improvements and redoing Nix Park and ramps at Nix Park and everything else for Nix Park. We talked several meetings ago regarding charging for Nix Park boat ramp, and I know we started a study on it, and we're trying to look at some feasibility of several systems to charge. Have we gotten anywhere, or is there a time frame for this?
No, we started discussions about this exact issue, but if you recall, during that time period, we were distracted.
Yeah, I understand that part of it, but I'd like to get it back on track, especially with, hopefully that part is now behind us.
Well,
Can I comment real quick? Okay. At this time, if we're talking about charging at the boat ramps, realistically, that would impact probably the county a lot more than the city. We're in a position now where we're going to be applying for a lot of money from the county. I would think that we would want to table that issue and see where we're at.
Okay.
That sounds fair.
Any other old business?
And the only thing, I just want to compliment this chief and Mr. Lupo. This information, I think, is extremely well. Last meeting we had, what the PD did some of the things I'm hearing out there with our residents is they like to hear this, what's going on. They think that our fire department is sitting in their beautiful house over there, and our police departments, they are right around the corner of Donuts or someplace. But I think sharing this information, somehow putting it on our website where the residents can see on a monthly basis what's going on, it is a great idea. I think we can get more support of our first responders, knowing that they are active out there, they're very busy. I love it, absolutely. In fact, reading this, I was surprised how busy the fire department was. But this is just for 1 month.
Yes, sir, we'll be doing that, putting it on our website.
And I think that's all the old business.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good meeting, thank you guys.